What's going on, you guys? What's going on? What is going on, you guys? It's be your boy, Scotty by Nature TV, and we're here for a brand new review of Belle Collective Birmingham Season 1, Episode 4. What is going on, you guys? I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful Monday, and I intend on doing the exact same thing, you guys. What is going on, y'all? I know this review was how many days late? Saturday, Sunday, 3 days late. We're 3 days late for this review, but it is absolutely fine and it's absolutely okay. I am here to catch up on all of my reviews, honey. Because after this, we got Love and Marriage Huntsville at 5:30, and at 7 o'clock we have an interview that I'm doing. Now, I'm gonna pull this up really quickly so you guys can get a glimpse of it. The link for said interview is on my community wall right now. If you guys want to catch it, I would prefer you guys catch it. Let me share this to my screen real quick, y'all. So I have an interview tonight with the Fourth Wall podcast with Oakland Jonas Galloway. Okay, I'll be joining him live on IG and YouTube to discuss the season of the season ATL. He's gonna dig deeper into the things that we did see and inquire about things that wasn't shown and ask all the questions that he feels should have been asked over the season and at the reunion, which also includes him asking me things about Bando. So be on the lookout for this interview, you guys. Please be there. I need all of the Scotty gang to be there as this comes up, you guys. Okay. And as a matter of fact, because I want you guys to set your notifications, what I'm gonna do, and I see some of my moderators are in here. I think, well, I probably see one moderator, and that's the Jail Slayer. So what I'm gonna do right now is probably go up here, get this link for this said interview, so you guys can share, so you guys can go and set your reminders, because it will be at 7 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. Central time today. Okay, so let me go ahead and get this link real quick, and I'm gonna have the Jail Slayer, share it so you guys can go and set your reminders and stuff so y'all can get prepared. Because y'all know, what people really don't know is that I actually like to do interviews. That's one of my favorite things about being a content creator and being on a reality show is the interviews, because I don't really mind. Like, I'm an open book. I don't really steer away from anything. So I definitely try to do my best and give the best interview that I know how. And y'all know I love to talk anyway. So that's one of the reasons why I love being a content creator, because I love to give my opinion, I love to talk, and I just like to answer questions for the most part, until you annoy me with the same old questions over and over again, child. So that's pretty much the gist of that. And I see only one Miss Ann up in here. So hopefully Jail Slayer and Miss Ann, while they're here, they're sharing this link so you guys can set your reminders for this interview tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So this will be right before the Whether You Like It or Not panel airs. And because of this interview, there's a possibility that I might be late for the panel, or I might not be there at the panel, but they're aware. It just depends on how long this interview goes. So with that being said, we got 30 people up in here so far, and what I need from Jail Slayer and Miss Ann to do is to make sure the chat is clean, make sure everybody is engaged, and make sure everybody is lighting this chat up as we go into the 5-minute mark. So go ahead and put your flame emojis in the chat so we can get ready to get started for today's show, which is about Belle Collective Birmingham. All right, we got about 10 more seconds before we get into the review, y'all, so let's go ahead and get ready. Okay, now we at the 5-minute mark, so let's go ahead and get ready. I don't see no flames in this chat, but we're gonna go on and get started. Okay, so let's see where we at. So we're still at the 48-hour we're at the 48-hour live TikTok live that Stormmy is doing or whatnot. We're at the 48-hour TikTok live or whatever. So that was pretty much suggested that. So the last time we was there, Stormy was pretty much having some issues because they had the trio thing going on instead of the package with Lala. So she was having a time with trying to get that fixed. But in the meantime, in between time, she actually fixed the issue and everything was back up and running the way that she needed to be up and running, right? So then as everything is getting ready, as everything is getting fixed and under control at this point, Fumi, Sonetta, and Kayla, they arrive, and they're all just in awe about how everything looks up in there and things like that. And I must say that Stormy really had this place real decked out. Like she literally had it decked out. Everything looked good. You know what I mean? Like she had this shit looking really, really good. And I love that for Stormy. Like that was everything for Stormy, in my opinion. So yeah, she had everything going. So Martell arrives, and Stormy embraces Martell, and she tells Martell, well, these women up in here, they be thinking you fine, child. I don't know what they see in you, but they think you fine. So we need you to get on this live and really do what you got to do. Now, contrary to what anybody wants to believe, right? Sometimes we gotta put our bias aside for certain things, right? Now, let's be for real. I don't care what y'all say. As Martell is a fuck boy and all of those different things. He definitely is. But that doesn't take away from the fact that Martell is a handsome dude. He's a fine dude. Like, I'm just being for real with y'all. Like, y'all can not like what I'm saying. Y'all can be mad about what I'm saying. I righteously don't give a fuck. But Martell is an attractive guy. It's the attitude that makes him unattractive. But physically, he's very attractive. And can't nobody take that from him. And y'all can just sit up there and be mad if you want to. I'm just telling y'all the truth. But there are some women, despite his toxicity and the things that he's done to his wife in the past, that thinks he's fine. The only issue that I got with this whole thing is that Stormy thinks that Martell is Lala's caliber. And if anything, he's nowhere near her caliber at all. I'm trying to understand why you think that is Lala's. He is in Lala's bracket. Martell ain't nowhere near Lala's bracket, child. And to be quite honest, I don't really think that Lala would even pay Martell any goddamn attention. And if she did, she'll be a damn fool. Shit, and if you do pay him attention, I just think you might just need to fuck him, let him give you that good mouth, and go on about your business. Don't pursue no real relationship with no goddamn Martell. Don't pursue no marriage with that man, because he is not worthy of any of it, okay? I'm just telling y'all the business and telling y'all the goddamn truth. He ain't worth none of that shit. So I'm just saying, watch it. Watch it. That's all the fuck I'm saying, okay? Watch the shit, because it ain't really worth it. So he interviews the girls. He interviews Sonetta and Fumi and Kayla and things like that. And it was a pretty fun interview, you know what I'm saying? Fumi is, doing what she do, and Kayla is looking nervous like she always look, and Sonetta just sitting there with that big ass wig like she do and things like that. So Jason, who is Kayla's gray bearded boyfriend, he arrives. And he's there to support Stormy, and he's also there to, keep Kayla company. And in my opinion, I just think that Kayla really likes him. But I also think that she's, once again, looking for a parental figure because her dad wasn't around. But I think that she's getting a little bit more than what she bargained for with this man, because this particular man here is basically like allowing her to be her. Like giving her the space to do what she needs to do for herself and not necessarily be so reliant on some man or anything of that nature. Because that's exactly what it's given out to me. Like she's always been relying on a man to do something for her for the most part in time. But he's not really that person. He's not making her be relying on him. He's doing things because he wants to do it. And he's allowing her to make her own damn decisions, because for the longest time she wasn't making those. So Kylan is up there dancing and doing a Harlem shake and all that other different shit. That's what she's doing. And, Kayla's looking at Kylan up there having all this energy after all this time. And she's like, well, what did she take? What made her have all this energy and things like that? So then Stormy says that she is glad that Tiffany ain't coming, because That is just some energy that she don't want around her. And she felt like it wouldn't have been that good of a time had Tiffany showed up. So it's clear that it's up and it's stuck with Stormy when it come down to Tiffany. She don't rock Tiffany. She don't vibe Tiffany. And to be honest, I don't rock Tiffany. I don't vibe Tiffany either. So I ain't really mad at Stormy for feeling any kind of way when it come down to that girl right there, because Tiffany do way too much. So now we're going to get into Amber. So her and Kylan are sitting there talking, and she's talking about her in vitro and her egg fertilization type of thing. Not fertilization, but she's talking about freezing her eggs and stuff like that. And because she doesn't have a man or a family, you know, her mama thinks she gay, which is the most ignorant shit I've ever heard in my life. You know what I'm saying? But that's that Southern ignorance. You know, anytime a woman is of a certain age and she ain't got no man or she ain't got no kids or anything like that, the first thing that they be thinking is that they're gay. And my thing is, why do they have to be? Why do they have to be gay just because they ain't got no man? Maybe they don't want one. You feel what I'm saying? You know, so I just feel like, why? You feel what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I just don't get it. I don't understand it. And it's just like, okay. You feel what I'm saying? So I hate it when, you know, older women be saying stuff like that. Oh, girl, you must be a sissy. You know, I don't know if they say that where y'all from, but I've heard a lot of older women say some shit like this. Like when a woman is of a certain age and they ain't got no man or no kids, they be like, I think she finna turn out to be a sissy. That's what she finna do. She finna be a sissy because she ain't got no man, she ain't got no children or none. She gonna be a sissy. That's what they say now. You know, that's what the women say where I'm from. The older women, they always say whenever they say somebody gonna be a sissy, they talking about them being gay. Whether it's a man or a female, they're talking about them being gay. Okay, that's what I've always heard. She gonna be a sissy. She gonna be all that. So then, that is when Kylan brings up the fact that, you know, brings up some shit that Kayla had said on social media on the TikTok. Now, come to find out, Amber and Kayla had basically buried the hatchet and they're on better terms at this particular point in time. At least that's what she thought. But now she's looking at Kayla in a certain way because of what she did up under Kylan's post, basically asking her, how many lines did you do to have all this energy? So basically, you think that because she had all that energy, that means that she was on drugs? That's what you took from this? Was that she was on drugs? So you didn't have you didn't have no better way to put this besides you thought she was on drugs. What make you think that she was on drugs? I'm just trying to figure that part out. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I feel like that was the craziest thing for you to say about somebody that you don't know. And it just make it like, how can you joke about something like that? Like, you could you can get energy in many different ways. You can get energy from a Red Bull. You can get energy from a Monster, a 5-hour energy thing. You know, what is it? What's it called? Celsius. You know, vitamin B12, whatever that shit is. All that other stuff. Like, so that's the thing. Hey, Tammy. And that's the first thing you go by is that somebody's on drugs because they got energy. You couldn't have said how much did she get a bunch of coffee before she came. Like, you could have said anything besides drugs. And for you to think that that was okay for that to say about that girl when you didn't even know her is quite baffling to me. You are really way too comfortable in even saying that shit anyway. Like, what the fuck wrong with you? Seriously, what the fuck is wrong with you? And why the fuck did you feel the need to even say some shit like that? That's stupid. Stupid as fuck. Okay? Very. So now Amber is mad with Kayla all over again because they just buried the hatchet. And now Amber is feeling like Kayla comes across innocent, but she really shady on the low. Like she real shady on the low, but she is definitely, you know, shady. And that's exactly what Kayla gives. Listen, I didn't want to, and it was something about Kayla from the very beginning. Like I always told y'all who I liked. It was like, oh, I love Amber. I love Stormy. What was it? I love Fumi. I don't like Tiffany. Sonetta's just there. And then when it came down to Kayla, it was like, I don't like her or dislike her. It's just something that I can't put my hands on, and I just don't know what it is. But right about now, I don't know if I like her or not. That is where I was when it came down to Kayla. And now I see why I'm where I'm at when it comes down to Kayla. Because Kayla on some bullshit. She's definitely on some bullshit. She knows that she's on some bullshit and she needs to cut it. Because what would make you think that that was okay to say? And then you said it on a public platform. This is what I be saying. When people be blurting out dumb shit and saying stupid shit on public platforms and then think no one is supposed to have anything to fucking say about it, you got me and yourself fucked up. If you ever think that you're going to get on a public platform and say some bullshit about me out loud in the public for people to hear, if you ever think you're going to get away with that, you got me fucked up. You got me fucked up. If you ever think that that's going to fucking happen. If you ever think that that's going to fucking happen. Like, are you fucking for real? Like, no. And Kylan was like, you know what, when I see her, I'm going to check her about it because I'm going to confront her. And rightfully so. Rightfully so. And can't nobody tell her that she wrong for wanting to confront that girl about that. Because if that was me and you sitting up here on social media trying to ask me how many lines did I take, girl, what the fuck you mean? How many lines I take? What are you trying to say? What are you trying to imply? You feel what I'm saying? Like what the fuck you talking about? And what the fuck are you on? For you to even be saying some shit like that anyway. Got me fucked up. Completely. Okay? Completely. But anyway, moving on, y'all. That shit pissed me off. So we're gonna move on to the next thing. So Stormy, she's at her warehouse pretty much. And not only, let me take these off. Not only how she's talking to her person, I forget his name, you know, the dude with the different color hair and shit. She's talking to him, and she was basically talking about how overwhelmed she is with everything, and she starts crying. And she was basically saying that people don't realize the stress that she be under and how much that she be dealing with. And she was like, you know, a lot of times, you know, people get up here on social media, they have their reviews, they do videos, they do this, they do that, and they don't even say my damn brand name. The first thing they do is say my name, and I have to sit there and I have to listen. And to be honest, Stormy, I feel you. I feel you. It is very overwhelming to really be doing the stuff that we do. And then we have to face the backlash when it don't go the way that we want it to fucking go. You feel what I'm saying? Like for me, I deal with that a lot. Like right now, I'm tired. Sleepy as fuck. Like it's taking everything in me not to fall asleep right now. Like I gotta do this, I gotta do another live, I gotta go and do an interview and possibly do with the Whether You Like It or Not panel. But if I'm way too tired after that interview to do the Whether You Like It or Not panel, I'm not gonna do it. Me and Sakina had that conversation already on Saturday night. You can't, it can't be overwhelming when you're trying so hard to do a lot and you're trying to make sure everything is on point. It's so hard when you're in that place, but you know, but it's a passion and you got to keep it pushing. You just got to figure out a way to deal with it. And when you're dealing with stuff like this, you have to know that backlash is coming with it. And that is the hardest thing about doing the shit that we do. Well, she's a public figure, but with me being a semi-public figure and people knowing who you are and they're judging you based off of how you come, even though it's one facet of who you are or whatever, it is difficult to deal with the backlash of it all. It's very difficult to do that. But, once you realize that that's something that comes with it, you just face it and just move forward. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. Like we're not allowed to have bad days. We always have to be on the up and up. We're not allowed to have bad days. We're not allowed to have emotions. We're not allowed to get angry. We're not allowed to get irritated or annoyed or have human emotion. Because when we do that, then once you do that, then you're looked at as a nasty person. And then when they meet you in person, they don't get that. And I'm pretty sure that's what's going on with Stormy. People have seen her on reality TV or seen her cursing out somebody on a damn video or something like that. And they have this perception that she's just this nasty person. But when they meet her, they probably don't even get that. There may have been some people at the Ooh Ladies First panel that may have thought that I was just this hard up, nonchalant person, rude, all the other stuff. But then when I saw everybody at the Ooh Ladies First panel, I didn't meet a stranger. I mean, it is what it is. That's just the vibe. So I get where she's coming from, but we just have to take the bitter with the sweet. Like we love what we do, but we also got to realize that the backlash is coming, whether we want it to come or not, and whether it's warranted or not. Because a lot of the times the backlash don't really be warranted like that, but it is what it is. So let's move on to the next thing. So we get into Amber. She invites Tiffany, Sonetta, and Kayla out for boxing classes. And so they're boxing, and Amber was like, I would rather take Kayla to a boxing class than for me to box her ass in her face because of the fact that she's been pissing me off with the shit that she's been saying and doing, right? So then they do that, they get together and they talk about the live, and everybody was basically saying, I think that was Sonetta saying, I'm very, very proud of you and Stormy. Y'all really did y'all big one with the live and stuff like that. It was really good to see you guys really, in y'all element doing y'all thing. And so Tiffany was like, well, yeah, I saw what she said this on confessionals, rather. I saw the live or whatnot, but I really wasn't thinking about it like that. Like it really wasn't all that. Hold on. Hey, Tramel. Y'all know that they always say that this is my favorite friend. And they probably right. But hey, Tramel. But yeah, so she said that she saw the live, but she really wasn't paying attention to it like that, but she ain't really got much to say, but she saw it and she saw how some of the stuff went or whatever. So then after that, Amber says that the collective needs to get together because there's been a lot of issues going on within the group, right? Right. So then Tiffany says that her and Fumi made amends. So 5 days ago, they had a FaceTime call. Tiffany called Fumi to apologize to her. Not Sweet Me, Scotty. Oh my God. Tramiel, shut up. She called her to make amends with her. And not only did she call to make amends with her, they settled it out. They both apologized to one another and they moved on. So while they're sitting there, Amber confronts Kayla for basically for making a comment under her niece's post about her doing 2 lines. And so Kayla was like, well, I thought that I have a certain sense of humor and that's why I said it. And I really didn't really think anything of it, but I can understand how a person can be offended if you don't really know me like that. So I understand. Did you really think that was funny? You couldn't have. Because it wasn't funny. It was nothing funny about that shit. Nothing funny about it. So what made you think that was going to be funny? You feel what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't funny. Like, what we talking about here? Like, it wasn't funny at all. You don't sit up here and make no joke about a person doing a line and shit. And then it's one thing for you to do it privately, but you did it on social media. You know what I'm saying? How dumb can you be? But anyway, moving on. So Sonetta says that after Amber talks to Kayla and Kayla apologizes about it, Sonetta then says she calls Tiffany out basically, and she's basically saying, well, you got to admit that the mop comment is the comment that pissed Stormy off. And it came across a little condescending, and you got to take into account how that can be offensive to somebody. And that is when Tiffany looked at Amber and said, well, can you get Stormy to call me? Because we can really talk about this thing. And then Amber was like, well, we're going to all go to the Black History Museum, the Civil Rights Museum, and then we could all talk about things after we, do that. So everybody's okay with just trying to get the collective together so they can talk about their issues. So then we get into Amber. She's going to this clinic about this egg stuff. Her mama's with her. And she's basically telling her mama that she got to get shots and stuff like that and take medicines and things of that nature for the IVF treatment. Her mama said, well, if you had a man, you wouldn't have to worry about it. Y'all, I might be doing too much, but I'm sick of that. I'm sick of that mama. No, for real. I'm sick of that mama. I'm sick of that mama. That mama is irking my spirit. I can't fuck with that mama. Okay. Like, it is so irritating. And stop trying to force that girl to have a man. See, that is what y'all southern mamas be doing sometimes with y'all daughters when they ain't got no man for a long period of time. Y'all sit up here and try to force some shit on them. Hold on. Let me see. Hey, Scotty guy. Hey, Miss O said, well, we waiting on your review for the scene reunion. We're definitely waiting on your review. LTV Productions just put his out yesterday, and now we're waiting on yours. So where that? But yeah, she keep on jabbing at her about not having no man. They go in there, they check on things and stuff like that. So that's pretty much the gist of what was going on with Amber. So we get into Tiffany. Now Tiffany's in the car with her friend of 18 years, and they have a conversation about well, I can only speak on Southern mamas, Janice. I mean, I can't speak on Northern. Sorry, but I'm from the South. That's all I can talk about. But they have a conversation about her offending Stormy. And her friend basically says that Stormy has no substance. And I'm just trying to figure out where you get that whole her success is her success. And that's all that she cares about. And you need to watch out for a person that do that. But I don't get where you get that she only cares about her success from her being offended by what Tiffany said. And I feel like that this friend probably don't like Stormy anyway, and she's a hater. Because that's how it's coming across to me. Because where did you get this from? Like, what made you think of this as the right way to move or the right point to you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get that. Like, what made you think that? Like, what made you think that that's what this was? Because I don't really see this as what that was. I don't see that at all, girl. Like what we doing and what we talking about. Because that's what I'm trying to figure out. What we doing and what we talking about? Because that didn't have nothing to do with nothing. Tiffany was just an offensive ass motherfucker and said some shit that girl didn't like. And it was condescending as fuck to tell somebody to mop your fucking floor. She could mop your ass with your ass if you get my drift, okay? That got on my damn nerves. That friend is a hater, child. But let me see. So then Amber is not even at the Civil Rights Museum because she's sick off meds. So as Stormy is on the phone with Amber, as Amber's telling her how sick she is, Tiffany walks up and Tiffany asks, okay, so where's Amber? Like, where's Amber at? And so Stormy was like, well, Amber is sick. She's doing her IVF treatments and stuff, and that's the reason why she's not here, because she's sick or whatnot. So she basically lets Tiffany know why she's sick. So then they're just standing there eyeballing each other and shit. That's pretty much what they're doing. Like they just staring each other down, or really Stormy is staring her down for the most part. And so Tiffany then addresses, then we find out that Sonetta, Kayla, nor Fumi could come. So it's pretty much just Tiffany and Stormy at the damn Civil Rights Museum. The odds of that happening. These two motherfuckers who don't like each other at all are the only two that showed. Well, not really showed, but the only two that's there. That's crazy, right? So then Tiffany then addresses Stormy, and Tiffany says that Sonetta told her that she was offended by her. And so Stormy was like, well, what did Sonetta say? And then she was like, do you want to talk about it or not? And so Stormy was saying to her confessional that she never talked to Sonetta about nothing. So she needs to know, if we're going to talk about it, she needs to know what Sonetta said. And I kind of agree with Stormy on that. Like, what exactly did Sonetta tell you to make you have to feel like you got to come over here and apologize and do all this other shit? You feel what I'm saying? Like, what actually made you feel like you got to do that? Because I ain't said nothing. So I'm just trying to see what happened and what's going on with that. You feel what I'm saying? So oh shit, I don't know. But it's giving crazy. But you know, Stormy really not trying to. It seems like Stormy really don't want to talk to Tiffany. She already got her mind made up on Tiffany or whatever. But I think we're gonna get a continuation of this on the next episode. But I will say that I am enjoying Birmingham for the most part, though. It's just that this episode was full of fluff to me. Like, it really wasn't a lot to really get into or discuss, rather, on this episode. That's hence why this shit is like 30 minutes long, because it really wasn't that much to really get into like that. But all in all, it was a decent episode, y'all. I'm loving the Birmingham Bells, although I do miss my Jackson girls, but Birmingham will have to do for the moment. Okay. So thank you to Jail Slayer for constantly sharing this link to this interview that I'm doing at 7:00. Make sure you guys are there and all of that good stuff. Now, I'll be back in about an hour and 30 minutes for Love and Marriage Huntsville, because I got to do that. And then once I get done with Love and Marriage Huntsville, then the interview. And then after the interview is the Whether You Like It or Not panel, which will be on Really B's platform. There's a possibility that I might be late to the panel, and there's a possibility that I'm not going to be on the panel. But however, be on the lookout for Love and Marriage Huntsville, because I'm doing that next. I got to go watch that. So I'm about to share the link to the Love and Marriage Huntsville review as soon as this is over, so you guys can set your notifications and shit like that for that review. That's coming at 5:30. Okay? So I'm out here, y'all, until Love and Marriage Huntsville. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.
That 20, yeah, you always been a sneaky bitch, hating from the sidelines, trying to get picked, yeah. You don't found one, yeah, you don't found one. You don't found one, found you a real one. On my assets lately, you catching face shots, fire catching babies. Heavy on the highs, better get you some gravy. Cut that lady check, why you out here being lazy? I got bored with that season, I'm talking shit when I'm spitting. Fact, the bitch, I'm the reason. When it got you hoes heated. Snow got them hoes sneezing, got the meals you not eating. Where had them hoes leaking, God trust when I'm speaking. It's giving.
Big bands gon' make it hot. Real niggas gonna come up, don't let the game gon' change us. Real niggas in my circle, ho, don't ever play us. This the real hustle, we make the money, don't make it make us. They ain't bout shit, talking out they neck. Bitch, we bring the heat every time we step. You fucking with a beast, fucking with the best. Get money on the east, plug on the west. Bitch, I'm from the north, but we run this out. Bitch, we outside, what you talking about? Who the fuck is me? No, who the fuck is you? Get these niggas.